Hey y'all, we haven't quite gotten started yet, but should be starting soon.
I'm doing fine. I just told her. I said, man, it's gonna wait a minute, because we got here at 10 after. We just got here. Well, not just got here. We got here like 5 my friend that used to live on Christmas, on us with me. You're not far. Did you used to live on with me? No?
In Gorsuch, I just moved down to like Queen Street.
Oh, you look like my friend that was on with me. I was getting ready to say, oh, nice to see you.
Well, I'm sure it's great to see you.
It's great to see you too. That's all right.
There we go.
I do too.
I'm on a 300 block.
I am too.
I'm in the 315 and I'm dress.
It's like purple and yellow.
Yeah, the yellow door. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on
That further down, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm a 342 with all the flowers in the front. Not the one with all the flowers, the one next to it.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Thank you. I think I spoke to you several times when you used to walk past.
Probably.
Do you have a,
Sorry, I'm embarrassed.
yes. I think I know I spoke to everybody, so I know I spoke to you before, but always good to see. I didn't know you lived in our block. Okay. You live down there next to you, almost?
Yep, yeah, I'm 328. So same size as last week.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm further down on the
I
end.
think I'm just like constantly meeting people that I didn't know.
Well, it's always good. If you need anything or want to talk, yeah, I'm there. Okay? Okay.
Do you have a friend?
Well, thank you. No, they're so old. I wasn't changing. I said I'm coming comfortable.
If they're still comfortable, I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you anyway. Got some chips over there. Them cookies are good. I just had 2 of them. I didn't even want some chips.
Something like Instagram,
Please.
but like I saw the like a lot of good stuff, and I was like, I bought this. I one shirt that I decided not to wear. That said like, how did you miss? You know the implication of that. I got 2 that are basically one.
I'm like President Heath. No, Isaac is on, okay.
We know each other.
All right.
She's on our block.
Yeah, I just found that out just a few minutes ago. I think I've seen her several times.
Yeah, maybe when I was like leaving or something.
That's what I do all day long, and that's why I'm hurting today, because I was out there
It's
cleaning.
like grabbers. You know, like,
Oh, okay,
But we have a bunch over at the garden.
okay.
grabbers are like a little kind of Home Depot bucket thing. Like,
Yes, I was out there,
I saw Jen C.
and it was just,
my neighbor
I'm
Sean.
hurting today, just taking down fine, trying to keep the
I saw a couple
area
neighbors
clean.
in the Harder Garden
I love
doing
the
like
area.
weeding and stuff earlier on the way here. It was nice.
all the rain, the leaves have gotten really bad. I was thinking about getting like a big jug of like white vinegar and actually like dumping it to see if that helps like kill the weeds on the sidewalk.
I don't know, because the one down 2 doors from me, I don't know if she moved or what, but that is a hot mess over there. It's just too much, and it needs to be cut down before the rats start coming up. That's why I come to the meeting, because I don't know if you have any rodents. They're going in my plants in the house. You ought to see, one just came out and said hello to me. I'm so sick of them. They're really bad this year. I don't know if because they put the meters in and they stirred them up or what, because they weren't this bad. They weren't this bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
All 3 of my neighbors is having a time.
Machines that do like the liquefaction of bodies.
I don't know, because of the vacant house next door to me. They need to get on that landlord.
That wouldn't surprise me if it was because
Yes, it's been empty for a good, almost going on a year. And she ain't been back there to clean up
I
the
didn't realize it
yard.
had been empty that long.
Yes. 346.
Something like that.
Okay. 348 is
Okay.
that one.
It's not like, if you walk past it, it's very obvious. It's a different little.
I'm pointing this stuff in,
It's
so
just
I
like
would do that.
Oh, yes.
Above my
Yes,
head,
yes, yes,
this
yes.
falls on me.
Okay.
It'll be like that.
But not that house. The house next to me.
Oh, you're talking about the house next to you.
Yeah, that's baby. I don't know if she's there, she usually be there with them kids.
Okay.
But she's been gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, that was.
It seems like there's just not a lot of people around.
But she didn't keep it.
Yeah, I think we might get a couple more.
So this is the first place I've been where it's like the turnouts are low. Why is this so
You know, the one next to me is a slum boy. She don't fix nothing. She don't do nothing. My girlfriend used to live there for 11 years and she had to move. Because she wouldn't fix it up.
You could report them to like the local landlord tenant association or
I'm
something.
trying to get somebody to do something about this house. Because anyone that I can speak with almost a broom in your bed to keep the mice from running, they're running crazy. And I get them on the speaker bag all the time.
okay? So there's like, it's like another
If they get it like
Cats, I'll tell you what.
I love cats, don't get me wrong, and I love dogs, but I just can't afford to, take them to the vet, keep them up. It's very expensive.
A couple extra chairs.
But that will work. I think the mice and rats, they can smell when there's a cat in the house and they will just avoid it. When I moved into my house, there was a lovely gift waiting for me of a leftover mouse trap with a mouse in it. Just a wonderful, like, welcome to your new home gift. Just like mouse poop.
Really good.
And yeah, and the kitchen and the kick, like the counter and the exterior of the wall was like kind of come off. So I like sealed that up. But I think I haven't seen I remember mouse since moving in, and I think it's several years ago, and I think it's because I have 2 cats, so the mice are
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm not, I'm gonna stay over here.
Because my bedroom is in the back. I sat there one day, and this rat came. All 4 of them cats.
Oh, out in the back house, they won't do anything. I don't know who she is. I don't think she comes to the neighborhood because I've never seen her. But somebody comes into the back alley.
She's an advocate for the cat. She lives on 27th. Go ahead.
Just like dumping things around. And once I saw the cat,
Oh, yeah.
That is probably
That is not how you maintain a garden. That is, there is like a technique to doing that in like the appropriate way, and that was not it.
I was like, I don't know a lot about this, but I don't think
That's what I was laughing. I was looking out the window and I said, oh, that little cat's just gonna get that rat.
No, the rats are
The rat just went, just strolled right past all four of them was sitting together. I was so, I laughed so hard, I had to laugh. I said, this is ridiculous.
I want to tell you, this was at my old house. My was like, she was eating and kind of, she was like, she was sort of all the way on the ground. And this cockroach came from the kitchen. I'm like, whoa, get it. And she's just like, she kind of looks at it and it's like, yeah. And it crawls.
it's quite a problem, bro.
I'm also listening to it, so I can
That's
change it if you
cute,
need
I
me
tell
to.
you. Hello.
Get started. It's a little bit of a lighter crowd thing because, you know, it's nice out. We're away. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stop me I'm Savannah, the CBCBD liaison. Do we want to do an icebreaker, or do we want to just get it going? How are people feeling?
What do you mean by icebreaker?
Like you know, like what's your favorite summer activity? Like that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Be like, say your name, you know, that kind of thing. Like, get to know you question.
Well, I'm Leslie Adams.
Hello.
My very, watching TV, doing my plants, trying to, and fighting these rodents that we got. It's off the chain. They're terrible.
Oh, well,
So
we'll
that's-
come back. Hopefully that's not your favorite activity.
No, it's not my favorite activity.
Well, the way new rats are of Baltimore.
Whew.
Yeah.
Great, I'm Mary Odell, and my favorite summer activity, well, more recently, is swimming. I joined the Y for this express purpose. It's been great, I recommend. Saltwater pool, I don't know if anyone knew that.
Wow.
It's really nice. Yes, the Waverly Y, you might have heard.
Really?
Yes. I got a little in my mouth.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out. That's, okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Christian Damerville. I am the, for all intents and purposes, somehow elected treasurer of Harwood. I live on the 2700 block of, I live on the 300 block of 27th Street. Obviously, I'm a little frazzled. I'm running here from work and walking my very temperamental dog. Yeah, I think that's everything for now.
Favorite summer activity?
Favorite summer activity? Besides travel, probably just kind of Baltimoring, you know, up and down, left and right. Just fun kind of down-to-earth activities. I think so far, my favorite activity this summer has been the block party. That was awesome. I'm very happy about that.
I'm Isaac. I'm the current HCA president, and you know a lot of you, but not all of you, which is great. I always like it when there's people I don't know in the room. In terms of favorite summer activities, you know, I'm not going to be negative and complain about summer. Summer is not my favorite time of the year. Autumn is really where I shine. But I've really, I put a lot of time into the garden, the community garden in the summer, and so summer is also where I really get to see that pay off in the form of vegetables. And so I really, what I've learned to enjoy about summer is just a lot of cooking and preparing, even uncooked, like salsas and things like that, tomatoes, cucumbers, all the vegetables. I cook a lot, and so I just kind of embrace that, and I let that be the good thing about summer.
He makes the best lasagna you ever tasted.
I do not make that in the summer.
He got the best.
That'll be one for
Not a summer activity.
fall, yeah.
Yes, I get a sample of everything he
Oh,
does,
good
okay?
to know. We'll put the pressure on.
Summer I make gazpacho, which is
Ooh.
the other end of the spectrum.
For next time. We should all have that. We're gonna bring pop up right there. Should we do? But, yeah,
He also makes great dips,
Well,
great salsa, and what is it that you made?
oh, the bagnoush.
we'll just have Isaac go for the rest.
Really very.
He should.
Cool. And then my favorite summer activity is, I see a good summer blockbuster. Not gotten to myself to the theater to see Superman yet, but that is next on my list.
Oh, wow.
Very excited.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm not leaving.
I'm Izzy, 2700 block of Matthew Street, all the way on the east end of the neighborhood. I've lived here for about a year so far, and I'm working on the garden space over, if you haven't seen it, over on 27th and Boone Street. That's been pretty fun. And yeah, I get a lot of help from people in the community, so thank you. You know who you are. And I'm recording, and I record the meetings. Yep.
I'm Adam Sikopny. I'm the secretary for Harwood, and summer activities, gardening is fun, but yes, movies. We've been to 2 movies this week because it's cool. Yeah.
Keep it going down the road. Bowman Gregory, live on Greenmount, / Boone Street. I get to trade addresses. Favorite summer activity is rebuilding stuff between shows. I work with Baltimore Rock Opera Society. It's one chunk of time. We don't have anything else going on, so we'll be heading there after this. Hang on. That's nice.
Nice. Yeah, really fun. If you want to volunteer, easy to volunteer. I've helped out with a couple shows. If you want to just pop in for one show, build something one day, do some makeup.
Where at?
It's
Always happy to find you.
Where at, sweetie?
The Boulevard Theater on Greenmount, just north of 33rd.
Isaac will tell me where it's at, because I'm new to Baltimore, but I'm not new, so y'all be saying areas where foundations, because y'all been here a long time, but I haven't.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It'd be good to have a big map. What you're talking about.
I agree.
Well,
Up by
I
where the
love
farmer's
to.
market is,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay. Now you're talking my
Building
language.
the
Okay.
painting of a baseball player on the side of it, that's us.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Big stall in the window.
I got you.
Yeah, notable for the public.
We always do. So, please.
Who would like to start?
I'm going to Mike Stanley, 2700 block of Guilford Avenue. Board member at large. Honestly, what I like most about summer is cooking outside, but also because summer is my least favorite season. I can do that year round. It's just like something I do. I'd rather prefer winter, less stuff that flies and stings. And
Amen. You got that right.
Fair enough. Mary, do you want to go next? Or Kiana?
Alright, Kiana, on neighborhood Waverly, moved back in June. Summer, nothing particular that comes to mind. I'm not sure, I guess just berries.
Berries? Oh,
Berries are
okay,
great.
that's another one.
Berries are really good.
Yes, yes.
Got good raspberries in there.
No, sorry. I just don't have.
Oh.
I don't really have. Like, V has a violin.
Oh, berries. I think you said
Oh,
berries.
I thought you said berries. We all said berries.
Berries.
favorite summer activity, I'm gonna say fluid movement, because the water ballet is so fun. I went to the show last night, it was on banned books, and it was great. And I like berries too.
Yeah.
Next.
Name and favorite activity. Summer activity.
Oh, my name is Ainsley Burrows. I live on 2700 Greenmount, at the corner of Greenmount and 27. And what I like about summer is summer.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that.
Me too. It's just it existing.
Uh-huh.
My name is Mary, I live 500 block of East 27th Street. I love gardening and I love trying to craft. Not that great at it, I like being on.
Yeah, I get that.
We had a skip here.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Shadia. I'm a community partner with Grand Health Homes Initiative. I used to live on Gorsuch, which is kind of close to Harwood, but I just moved back to Mount Vernon. Favorite thing about summer is swimming at North Point.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great
I
spot.
love that beach. I go like every
Very cute.
I love that I keep wanting to.
How about you in the back?
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm community partnership coordinator for Central Baltimore Partnership. Something I like to do during the summer, I'm working out, which is why I was running late here. I was squeezing in a workout, so I'm going to do it later.
Nice. Made it happen.
Yes.
And, how about you?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Maurice Olivo. I'm your community liaison for the Northern District. My favorite summer activity is going to the beach.
And let me guess. Did you go?
I think we got everything.
Did we get Mike?
Okay.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike, daughter's
What beach you go to? I'm from Connecticut. Our beaches is 5 minutes away. You know, we just hit a bitch.
So, during the summertime,
Releasing a secret.
in July, I spent 3 weeks with my family in the U.S. in Florida, the Dominican Republic, which is our native country.
Okay. Oh, you go to the beach, okay.
There's a really cute beach called Hammerwood Beach area. It's like great. It's out in Essex.
Oh, okay.
How challenging we have better.
Whoa!
I know, that's good. We really do have the same beaches.
Great. Now that only have one new person signing in, got everybody right on the spot here. And then while they're signing in, we're gonna start with finances and then go on to the grants committee, our bylaws committee, events committee, and we'll just go from there. And
So,
hello. Sorry, you just bombarded you. Just walked in here, but cool. Would you like to say your name and favorite summer activity? We can have them right as we all said it. So.
Bernard Brown.
Favorite summer activity?
I don't have one.
That's all right. You ain't the only one. Just we all said the same thing, though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, mine is going to there's a good river spot on the NCR Trail.
Ooh, you're gonna have to tell me where.
I brag with that. For sure. Alright, so we're gonna start actually with Christian and I on the state of the finances.
State of the finances. So hi everybody again. We're in an interesting place right now. You know, being in Harwood, we're not the richest neighborhood. We usually kind of float right there. I'll start with 501c3. We're working on getting a 501c3 to remediate that, actually.
Wait, actually, sorry, before we continue, because it's a smaller group, would people be interested if we were more in like a circle, the way everybody could see each other, or would that be too disruptive?
It will be a little different.
We
Yeah, we're fine.
All right.
That'll work.
Okay.
He did the right.
Just,
Right.
for speaking, just face.
So we have been, kind of our big project for the year is that we've been trying to come to become 501c3 due to certain levels of just inactivity and just kind of the world almost ending in a zombie apocalypse a few years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that? No? I might be remembering it differently. Because of that, we fell behind in, for those of you who don't know, in reporting to the state, kind of like our IRS status, and so we fell out of good standing. We have since repaired that and are now working on getting our 501c3 certification, or just, yeah, to be designated 501c3. We've already gone through the federal portion of things. Have we gotten?
We're still waiting for the final sign off.
Yeah. As you may have seen, our federal government is feverish, is not feeling very well, so things are going kind of slow. Once we get that back from the IRS, we will be able to then apply with the state, which is a separate process. Yeah. And hopefully, we hope that by the fall, and this is a completely arbitrary thing that I'm saying, by the fall we hope to be able to start applying for our own grants. Due to not being a 501c3, we've not been able to have our own bank accounts and things for the last few years. We've been using fiscal sponsors. We do have our own accounting though. We were doing pretty good, like, you know, we have a pretty like loyal, repeating, and present dues payment kind of population. We did have a block party that cost a little bit of money, amongst other things. We did get a grant, a CDP grant, correct?
It was a CDP, yes.
Yeah, the CDP grant that helped us cover a portion of the cost of that. That cost us a little over $1,100. Half of that was covered somewhat by the grant. Ultimately, we paid $500, or somewhere around like $1,300 out of that for the block party. We made a bit of money, but we ended up splitting it with a few vendors that were there. There was her name that Miss Angie that running the snowballs. She did such a great job, and she was by far the most popular thing, so we kind of split the money with her. And by the money, I mean literally $200. So she got somewhere like $80 or $90, and then another vendor got somewhere around like maybe the same. All to say that at the beginning of the summer, we were a little over $1,200, $1,100 between the 501c3 payments and other. We had a sign made for a resident that we honored, and we paid for the part of the block party that we paid for. Put us down to about $355, which is where we stand. The good news with that is that dues will be due very soon.
Technically, our fiscal year ends June 30th. So as of July 1st, this is the new fiscal year, so we start asking folks who are paying for previous year for dues. Dues are $10.
The
Per-
dues,
per
but
household.
in order to vote, you do have to pay the dues.
Yes.
That's,
We also don't really have very much in the way of overhead. We don't like burn through money.
Yep.
And who do we pay this $10 to?
Right now, great question. Right now, we pay Isaac through his Venmo, again, because we are not a bankable institution. Isaac has proven very flexible and very willing to kind of let us use his bank account to hold everything, which, by the way, is not a very easy thing when you're holding, like, 1,000 people's.
It's all in the Venmo or PayPal account.
Yes.
It never actually goes into my bank account.
Indeed. And so we do have an active accounting of where the money is and how much of it is left. If anybody is concerned about that,
We also
are you saying something?
We also have a policy where like we don't move money unless the treasurer and at least 2 other people are present. So I don't just move money to him. If I move money to him, there has to be another board member present.
Right.
So we basically try to be as transparent as possible. This is all because we don't have a bank account, which is frustrating. As soon as we're a nonprofit, we can get a bank account and all of this can end and we will have our own Harwood, Venmo, and PayPal accounts, and all of that will be like not my problem anymore.
Yes. And we also will, at that point, will be able to provide, quarterly reports of the state of finances for whoever is interested. And so, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to share, so the Able Improvement Association is not a 501c3, but we do have our own bank account as an unincorporated association. We have to negotiate with the Charles Village Community Foundation when there's things like the street fair, which is big, and we need to use their tax exempt status to get contributions to the street fair. But for most of our day-to-day business, like membership, T-shirts, film, snacks and stuff, we're just doing it as just a regular bank account. So I know it's possible.
I mean, we have an EIN. We do. We are a taxed or a fiduciarily recognized entity. We do have a tax number. We do have, the state knows of our existence. We are registered with the state of Maryland.
I guess all I'm saying is
we haven't looked into that. I'm not sure why.
An official 501c3 nonprofit to have a bank account. So that is not a condition. It is a condition for like.
Is Ruth Baker, she's the treasurer for you all, or is that
Bonnie
David?
Besser.
Bonnie, yeah.
So I can
I'll talk to her. I have one.
You know Bonnie?
Yeah.
Also, part of this is the 501c3 process. Using the easy form is supposed to take less than a month, and we are now on month 3.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like, oh, as soon as we do this, we'll do that, rather than having to like get a bank account and then turn it into a 501c3. We keep sort of saying, okay, well, as soon as this is done, and perhaps if we had just gotten a bank account.
Yeah, I don't think you need to wait, because you could get the bank account, and then once you become a 501c3, then you can start receiving tax deductible donations. But the bank account would remain the same.
Okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, we'll look into that. We did ask around though, and we weren't told that. But it's unfortunate that we're not only just not connected on this, but
yeah, you can talk to Bonnie, or we can talk later. Yeah. We've been doing this for years.
Great.
We're registered with the state of Maryland. You know, we have to so as like an unincorporated association. We have some filing with the state of Maryland.
And when is the $10 due?
So the $10 is due now. It has been due since July 1st, but we probably weren't going to pull out send out the call until probably September 1st when everybody's back, considering we are August 4th. That's kind of usually how it goes. We let people come back. Usually we don't have a meeting
In August,
during the summer.
It's super easy. I just did it on my phone just now. It takes like 5 seconds.
Yes.
Or you can pay cash. We can.
Cash is admittedly harder, but we can handle that. We usually get a very small amount in cash, so we can handle that. That's fine.
But if I cash app, who do?
I can give you the link.
Yeah.
We should post that link in the WhatsApp,
Yeah.
and maybe send it back.
Well, you're talking to a person who doesn't know.
Oh no, I mean for everybody else. I mean that's just for should get it out to as many people as we can.
I'll
So yeah,
I'll share the link.
at the end of the meeting we can connect and kind of.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is this something that we're gonna email out to the whole email list?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, because I know there's people that might not come to the meeting.
Yeah.
Might still wanna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start, but I didn't want to do it piecemeal.
Yeah.
Like we'll do it like in a more systematic fashion.
I did have one more thing that I'm kind of working on right now. Dues, whatever. I'll come back to it if I remember. But that's basically where we're at. We're worth roughly a little over $350 at the moment, but we have accomplished most of the things that we set out to do this year, as far as financially speaking. And your contributions are always really, really, really appreciated.
If anybody wants to give more too.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Also, for those of you who don't know, the dues are $10 per household, not per person. And so if you live in a house with 4 people who are super, super interested in being part of the community and who want their own voting power, your house owes $10, not 30 or 40 if you have 4 people.
What if you want to?
Yes.
So please,
We'll
please,
take it.
we will take any amount of money you want to give us.
You're here messing it up.
We will take
Individually, if 4 live
Per,
with you guys.
per address.
Per address that are
Okay.
legally inside the boundaries of Harwood,
Okay.
every house owes $10 regardless of how many people live in it.
Oh, that, now I understand, because I didn't understand what you just said before. Okay, I got you, okay.
Any questions?
So, yeah, did anybody else have any questions before we move on to our grants committee?
Once, twice, 3.
That's it. Okay, cool. Now on to the grants. Isaac?
Yeah, I'll just cover this really quickly. We got a Healthy Neighborhoods grant related to outreach, and this is one that we had applied for last year, and they ran out of money, and they said when the money comes back in, you'll just be at the top of the pile. And so they said, just put the same application back in. We put it back in. We got about, the grant is for about $1,350. They don't give us the money. We have to buy all the stuff and then just get reimbursed.
Yeah.
But we'll be putting up sandwich boards, 6 sandwich boards around the neighborhood in key spots that can serve as bulletin boards, notification spots. That also includes money for stickers, a branded tablecloth for our events when we're tabling, like when we do the dumpster day, or if we want to do tabling at other community events. We'll have an actual tablecloth that looks more legitimate. And then also some money to defray general printing costs. Many of you have seen our flyers. We flyer every month before the meetings, and the cost of that generally comes, that's one of our ongoing costs. And so this will cover the next several months at least, so that we can make sure people get reimbursed while not tapping into the last couple $100 we have for the community association. In particular, the stickers, the tablecloth, and the sandwich board, we will need a little bit of help with, and we'll issue a broader call. But the sandwich boards, we're just going to need to go to the hardware store, buy some supplies, build the sandwich boards. We're using the same design that they use in Able. If you've ever been through their neighborhood and you see the ones that they have, I literally just ripped off their idea.
Well, they gave it to us. They gave it to us.
The community association that had some before, they were like, Walden?
I know not,
That's,
maybe.
That's good to know.
Yeah, Mary do you remember who was president at the time when those were out? If it was Miller or Kyle?
When Miller was, yeah.
Okay, I'll text Miller and see if he remembers what happened to him. But this is just, half a dozen. They're convenient because a lot of people, they don't look at the stuff that we drop in the mailbox. A lot of people aren't on the WhatsApp channel. A lot of people don't open their emails. And I am sympathetic to all of those things. So it's just one more communication channel, and also a way for local artists, businesses, anybody that wants to put up a little note, hey, I'm doing this thing, house cleaning, dog walking, whatever. It's also a space for that. As far as the stickers, so as far as the boards, we'll need help putting them together if anybody's handy. I've got tools, other people have tools. Again, I'll issue a broader call, but just keep that in mind if you want to help build some stuff.
When are we looking to begin that project?
As soon as we have people to work on it. Like,
Okay.
we have they send us the note that says they're on the hook for whatever we buy within the constraints. As soon as we buy it, we send them the receipt, they can start reimbursing us.
Maybe when we send out the call for dues, we can just put
Yeah.
all of that, the to-do list, task list on there as well.
That's for the community garden. It's a different thing. Also, the stickers, if somebody's handy with Photoshop or design work, we'd like to do some stickers. We've got $400 to get stickers made because stickers are cool.
I want
Everybody loves
stickers.
stickers.
How hard? Sure.
So, if anybody wants to pitch into that too. And again, we will issue a broader call. But that's a situation. We also did just submit a Love Your Block proposal for Be More Beautiful for about $1,500 to do cleaning on Greenmount. That looks good. I think I'm feeling positive about it, but that went in last week, so we can't rely on that. But if it does go through, it'll be great. Also, Toki and some other business owners are concurrently working on getting a new sign on Greenmount, which is exciting. A bigger project, a larger chunk of money, so they're working through their own channels, including partnering with potentially CSX that owns the land and BG&E to get this paid for. But a much improved sign would be great, because the sign there now is in a pretty bad state of decrepitude. We'll keep you posted. That's not something that is officially an HCA activity, but we're all sort of on the same page. We're working towards the same things.
Isaac, do you just mean the like "Welcome to Harwood" sign
On Greenmount?
on Greenmount?
Yeah, yeah. It's like plywood, white plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, and it's starting to
Falling apart, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very simple. I mean, honestly, this is not like a very like sophisticated. It's just a nice weatherproof design that you can see coming from both directions. It'll just look nice, and yeah. So Jeff from Toki is a member of our board. He's been working on that sort of externally, but you know, we're all on the same team ultimately.
Of the bylaws committee.
Yeah.
I guess we don't really have any update currently. The other person who's working on our bylaws couldn't be here tonight, Emmy, but we will have, we will hopefully be discussing that at our upcoming board meeting in August, which will be in a couple weeks, and then we'll be able to present those changes at the next community association meeting on September 8th. And then that will give everybody in the community time to mull over the changes, and then we'll vote on them in October. At least that's the plan. And then we're gonna move on to the events committee. And I'll start, because, okay, so dumpster day, our next dumpster day is August 23rd. It'll be from 8 to 12, classic time. Of course, the dumpster may not be there at that exact time. However, a few of us will be there starting probably at 7:30. We did this for the last one, where we incorporated the people from our mutual aid committees. So they had like, you know, snacks and like Narcan and stuff like that, and then some other like resources for folks. But if you need help moving something, you know, you need a car, there's also Roy and David who typically help out. We'll have their skid loader again, and Rob Birch will also be helping out again with his truck. So we also typically get supplies to clean up the alley close to the dumpster. So we'll be doing that again. If anybody has any interest to help us out with that, it's always better to have more people who are going, hey, come on, come do this, because it's the only way to get people involved. So, and it's pretty easy. We were able to do a lot of work in a short amount of time, and it was really gross at the last one, because it was very, very humid and raining on us at various times. But yeah, Christian.
I apologize if you already said this. What cross street is that?
Oh, I did not say it. This will be at Barclay and 27th. We try to hit all 4 quarters of the neighborhood. Our next one will be in East Harwood. However, that hasn't been scheduled yet because DPW has a new system with 311 to book the dumpster days, and their current system does not recognize East Harwood as Harwood because it is not, their neighborhood maps are not up to date, including that we are not in the, we're no longer in the 12th district, or we are in the, yeah, forget what the update is, but anyways, but that's an issue. Odette is working on it currently with the chief of sanitation, so we're working, hopefully we will have that scheduled by the end of August is my hope, so.
Excuse me, it's on the corner of, it's not gonna be where it was the last time.
No.
It's gonna be on 27th?
It'll be by that convenience center where the little deli, or the,
corner store on 27.
yeah.
Yeah, Barclay.
Oh, okay.
Barclay.
I had the
Yeah.
ding ding, okay.
Don't worry, we'll send out, it'll be on the flyer where it's gonna be located and everything. It's on the flyer currently.
I will say, convenience center is a huge upgrade.
Well, I hope so. I haven't been in there. Here they don't have a BLT, but, and then, let's see, Isaac, do you wanna touch on the 29th Street Community Center?
So, yeah, we used to do our meetings at the 29th Street Community Center. They closed for renovations last year, and we've been doing them at Peabody Heights. Those of you who have been to those meetings will notice the volume level here is much different. Peabody Heights was great. They didn't charge us, but I mean, just for example, they would have people performing music just outside the door. It was not ideal, and we're honestly grateful to them for not charging us to be there. But like Shadia was here last time, and I don't think that many of the people that would have benefited from what she was saying could hear what she was saying. So we actually asked her to come back so she can talk for a little bit. She'll be talking just in a few minutes about the resources that her organization provides. Because again, I think I love it. They let us be there, and it's a great space, and they're very supportive of the community. Honestly, this space is better, but the 29th Street Community Center is kind of our home, has been for many years. They will be reopening in mid-September, which means we will not have our next meeting there. We'll be here again in September, the beginning of September. They'll be doing a grand opening event. We don't have the details yet, but they finally locked down they're confident that they're gonna get it open a few months behind, not through any fault of theirs, but equipment purveyors and construction folks. Delays are a reality in this situation. But
You're talking about the Barclay School, right?
yes, there's the community center of the Barclay School. We love it there. It's always been a great space. It's much more accessible also because it is literally just outside of the community. It's a short walk for just about everybody, except for the folks down on 25th. Downside also, because they're not open, we had hoped to partner with them. We had talked about this earlier in the year on Neighborhood Night Out, which is August 7th, and because they weren't really up and running and we were kind of tapped out, we're not doing anything for Neighborhood Night Out this week. We had not really publicized it. We had talked to some folks about maybe bringing ideas together. But if you are looking for Neighborhood Night Out activities, there are plenty around the city. This is unfortunately like the third year that we haven't been able to. It is our full intention of doing this next year. We just have to get started earlier, and we have to be much more diligent about having a team that just works on that from the beginning of the year.
But CVCA and CBCBD are also, so the Benefits District and the Charles Village Community Association are also doing one. I think it's tomorrow? It's tomorrow? Yeah, at the 29th in Charles. So there's at least one happening.
What is it? I mean, what?
It's more for, it's like to block party
it's like,
activities.
Oh,
stuff for kids or
yeah,
children.
it's a national event, National Neighborhood Night Out. A lot of times there's a security team, a lot of times local police departments participate, fire departments, so it's kids, it's safety, it's back to school, all sort of come together, usually early, mid-August, all across the country. It's a big deal in some places. We haven't prioritized it.
Isn't it yard? Where's on 29th where?
In Charles, 29th and Charles.
Yeah, it's by, do you know where the big statue is at the bottom of Wyman Parkdale? There's a large monument right there. It's, I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it's at 29th and Charles, so it would be, if you look at the Benefits District website.
You got 3 locations where it's close to your community. One is 29th in Greenmount, and the other one is Barclay and East University.
Okay.
Is the one with 29th in Greenmount with the fraternity that's there again? Okay.
Oh.
Nice. I think we had tried to reach out to them last year, there just wasn't enough time or right amount of communication, so that's
But the most common one that people go to for our neighborhood, although that would be, the Green Mountain one would be closer, is Wyman Park, basically at the bottom of the park.
Yeah.
That's my
Don't get me wrong, okay.
It's a green and healthy home.
Yeah, I probably get the best of it. Yeah, and then yeah, we can go to you since you probably have other stuff.
But the community thing you're talking about, I mean, the gathering of people. Like, okay, because don't get me wrong, I used to be in an organization called Chumps, and that's on the other side of Great Mountain. And they used to go to the park over there and have a big screen, and we saw movies, we had popcorn. It was awesome. Like stuff like that, where the community came together and they had hot dogs and everything.
Yeah, they're going to be doing that. I'm assuming when the officer comes up to talk, we'll come back to that.
All right.
Yeah. Give you the floor.
Hi, everyone. So yeah, I was here back in June and had to run out really quickly, so I'm glad that we're able to have a more robust presentation today. So hi everyone, I'm Shadia. Nice to meet you guys. Glad to be here. So I am the Outreach and Education Director at Green and Healthy Homes Initiative. So we're a nonprofit. We're based in Baltimore, but we're a national organization. But the work that we do kind of started in Baltimore back in 1986. So there were about 9 moms whose children were lead poisoned. So they got sick because of lead paint in their home. They wanted to ensure that never happened again. So they kind of started this advocacy group called Parents Against Lead in 1986, and that became the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning in 92. Then Green and Healthy Homes Initiative was founded out of the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning in 2008, because we weren't just focused on lead poisoning and lead paint, we also wanted to think about weatherization, energy efficiency, injury prevention for our seniors and for our children, as well as other things like asthma care management, okay? So I did this activity last time with you guys, but I'm gonna do it again just to liven up the crowd, all right? So I used to be a teacher in Baltimore City Schools. So we're gonna do a call and response, okay? So what we do, if anyone walks away with anything from Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, it's really our 10 elements of a healthy home, all right? So before I jump into the call and response, raise your hand if you're a renter in Harwood. Oh, mostly homeowners, okay? So the rest of you guys are homeowners? All right, okay, so this does apply to you, but when we get into our programs and services, it's gonna be a bit interesting, all right? So, if we think about our 10 elements of a healthy home, you always wanna remember number 1, repeat after me, dry. Dry. Beautiful, okay, so what happens when there's moisture in the home? Mold, okay, what happens when we breathe in mold? Sick. You get really sick. It can be an asthma trigger, it can be a COPD trigger, it can be a bunch of other things, okay? So mold is bad, all right? Next up, clean. But we gotta do better than that, guys. Right? Hold on. Clean. Beautiful. All right. So when you have really sticky surfaces in your kitchen, what is that gonna breed? Bacteria. Insects, bacteria, bugs, etc. Okay. When you have your trash and you don't take out your trash, what happens? Rats. Nice. I did this the other day and I'm not proud of it, but I just went on vacation and I forgot to take out my trash. I open it, all those maggots and the flies. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to myself. All right, so make sure your home is clean. Those surfaces are clean, you take the trash out, etc. Number 3, contaminant free. Contaminant free. Beautiful, thank you guys. All right, so again, using non-toxic cleaning products, organic cleaning supplies. I love me some Fabuloso, but it's not great for us to breathe in, okay? So organic cleaning supplies only. All right, number 4, pest-free. Pest-free. I've heard some folks talking about pests, so let's talk about what we can do for you guys, okay? So it's really, really important that we're using traps if you're not allergic to cats, getting a cat to deal with those mice, okay? Cockroaches, etc. We really want to ensure that those pests are not in our home because they actually carry a bunch of diseases that we can breathe in and can be very, very detrimental to our health, okay? Number 5, safe.
I hear if you have mice, they eat the roaches.
See, it's like a trickle down effect though, because we say get a cat to get rid of the mice, get the mice to get rid of the rodent,
like it's a whole thing.
So wait, hold on,
Circle
the
of life.
mice don't like the roaches, or the roaches don't like the mice?
No, they eat them.
Mice eat the roaches. They eat
The
them.
mice eat the roaches.
Yeah.
Little protein stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
how funny.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
All right, so we're gonna do this again. Repeat after me. Number 5. Safe.
Safe.
Beautiful. Okay, so I want to make sure that we have our smoke detectors, our carbon monoxide detectors up to date. Okay. My old apartment at Gorsuch, I was just about to move out. My carbon monoxide detector went off, and I was like, oh, great, I'm glad I'm moving out. Okay. But make sure those things are up to date because you want to make sure that you are safe and breathing in healthy air. Number 6, well maintained.
Well maintained.
Beautiful. I spoke to an older woman at an event, and she showed me a picture, and her whole ceiling was caving in. That's not good. Okay, that home is not well maintained. All right. So making sure that if you have nails on your floor, making sure you're nailing them in or taking them out because you don't want to trip and fall. Not much you can do about a ceiling caving in, but make sure you have homeowners insurance, okay? All right, next one, well ventilated.
Well ventilated.
Beautiful, okay? So with the rise of COVID, all right, we all get really excited about air purifiers. That is a good thing, okay? So keep those air purifiers in your home, keep them on. Make sure you're opening the windows to get some good airflow in and out if the air quality is good in the home. Raise your hand if you have a gas stove. Ooh. Well, actually, it's not 100% bad. It's not most of our fault that there's gas stoves in our home. However, you are 40% more likely to get asthma if you have a gas stove, okay? So all that we say is, if you have a gas stove and you're not a homeowner and you don't want to spend $10,000 to switch over to electric, make sure you have that fan on above your stove when you are cooking. Make sure you have windows open. Make sure you have the air purifier on, yes.
So even for homeowners with 10 grand to replace to like electrify your system is a lot of money. Do you know about any resources to help? Are there like rebates or anything?
There are rebates, there absolutely are. I would actually give you our contact information. Our Home Intervention Services Director, he has contacts with all of those rebates, especially with MEA, the Maryland Energy Administration. So they definitely do. I don't know the specific ones, but he can get you in touch with those. And if she does too, it looks like you do, so. Good. Good.
Got a big rebate.
Wow.
It's like my price.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, nice. Was it through MEA?
It was the Inflation Reduction Act.
No, yeah, IRA. Got you. Okay. But yeah, I will give you guys those contact information.
Yet again, another IRA doing the Lord's work.
It kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And I might get $2,000 in my tax credit. We'll see. I'll keep you all posted.
All right, so we got 3 more, okay? Next one, energy efficient. Energy efficient. Beautiful. So again, if you can, installing those smart thermostats, LED light bulbs, etc. I believe BG&E came around like last year. They came in with those shower strips with new shower heads, things like that. I think you can actually get those kits for free if you request them from BG&E directly. Okay.
Well, I thought 5 years. Once you get it done this year, you can't get it again.
It's true, yeah. If you hadn't gotten it, I would reach out, okay?
Because I already inquired.
That's a good thing. All right, next one, thermally controlled.
Thermally controlled.
Beautiful. So that's ensuring that the insulation is all good to go. So we are keeping the heat in the wintertime and keeping the keeping the heat in and the cool in the summertime. All right. And then last but not least, electrified.
Electrified.
Ideally, you want to switch everything from gas over to electric. We are kind of hopefully starting this movement of electrified Baltimore, where all new buildings built in Baltimore have to be electric and not gas. So we are working with a few politicians to ensure that happens. All right, so real quick, before I leave you guys, I'm not going to give you all this information without the resources that we provide at Green and Healthy Homes Initiative. So again, we're a nonprofit. We provide free services for homeowners and for renters in Baltimore City. Now, there are a few things that we can do. We are a bit limited right now considering everything that's coming down from the federal government. So we've had to shift some of our programming, but what we do still have is our weatherization and our energy efficiency program. So if you're a homeowner or if you're a renter and you are concerned about your home being weatherized, definitely give us a call. We can go in and do that completely for free. In severe cases, we can actually replace HVACs. But again, it's in severe cases, okay? We can come in, we can provide sealants, insulation installation, those LED light bulbs, other things, programmable thermostats, completely for free, okay?
Who do we, I'm sorry, I saw your hand go, I didn't know this was a hand up, okay?
Please go ahead though.
Yeah.
Who did we get in contact? Because I've gotten in contact before the other meeting you was here.
Yeah.
I called them.
Okay.
Nobody came.
Yes.
But they says if you already had, like I said with the BDNA, if you had it 5 years, you gotta wait 5 years in order to get it. Whatever. I need installation on some windows in the wintertime.
So how about this? I'm gonna give you my direct line, okay? Because I'm not
I've
sure.
been through that and become. I hope you answer
Yeah,
your
no.
phone.
Absolutely.
Because I have a fetish. Everybody, I have about 5 cars. You thought I could get a hold of somebody? Nobody answers. The answer machine comes on and says, leave your number. Nobody calls you back.
I got you. I understand. That's a lot of community-based organization in Baltimore City. However, what I will say is, one, I supervise our intake department, so I'll make sure that she calls you back. And number 2, I'll give you our direct line, okay? I will be honest though, because we are a nonprofit, we always say this one thing, and I'm forgetting what it is, but if you want a service that's fast and good, it's gonna be expensive. If you want a service that's good and cheap or free, it's gonna take a while. Okay, so that is kind of like what we're dealing with here, all right? We have a wait list right now for our energy efficiency program for about 3 months, okay? Before anyone can even come out to assess your home.
That seems reasonable.
It seems reasonable, yeah. But
I thought you were going to say 3 years.
in terms of actually getting services, that can be 6 months up to a year, okay? But we do energy efficiency and weatherization completely for free. We also have aging in place services for our seniors if you're above the age of 65. So again, chair lifts, bar grabs, thank you, grab bars in the bathroom, improved lighting, non-slip mats, etc. Again, all completely for free. And then on top of that, we also have an asthma care management program for children diagnosed with asthma between 2 and 18. We provide free case management services, as well as we can provide an air purifier, have a vacuum mattress covered pillowcase, all these other things completely for free as well, okay? And last but not least, I know there are not many tenants here, however, if you do know of anyone that is a tenant, okay, or a renter, and they have a child in the home, in a home that was built before 1978, okay, give us a call, all right? That home most likely has lead paint in it unless it was remediated, all right? When that child breathes in that lead paint dust, or if they potentially eat a chip, they can get very, very sick. We can actually take landlords to court completely for free, no cost to you guys. We can take your landlord up in rental court to say, hey, they need to get these repairs done, and the tenant should not have to pay rent while these repairs are getting done because it's against the law. Yes.
Any income guidelines for these resources?
Great question. So half of our programs are income-based, the other half are not. So for our energy efficiency programs and for our aging in place program, so that's for our older adults, it is $68,000 a year for a single person and below, and then it goes up incrementally there based on how many people are in the household. Okay, so I believe it's like 75 for 2, and then it goes up to I think 86 for 3. Not really sure, but that is the income requirement. Every other service is completely free, and we don't ask for any income verification. Cool.
I'll just add to this. We do write up meeting minutes. I'm going to put as much information for this as possible on the meeting minutes. If you're on the WhatsApp, if you open your emails, that will be on this. And the thing to remember is we are a community, which is to say, even though most of the people in this room are homeowners, we all know people in our neighborhood who are renters. You are information vectors. You know neighbors who are renters, that you have relationships with, you have friendships with. Please, keep them in mind. When the minutes go out, you can, oh yes, these services, maybe the person 2 doors down from me can use these services, maybe the person across the street can use them. Because, there's less than 2 dozen people here tonight, but we are all connected to many, many more people in our neighborhood. And so just keep that in mind. I asked the folks to come back because the services they provide are so critical. And I think Sonia made the point very, very effectively. And I'm grateful.
Thank you.
For you to come back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, real quick, guys, just want to let you know, I'm going to leave some cards on the table with all of our information on it, okay? And then as well as some new brochures about lead poisoning, as well as our programs and services, okay? I'm going to head out, but thank you guys.
Just one last thing. Also, if you have signed up, and we didn't ask this last week, last meeting, we don't just hand out our sign-up sheets, but part of their funding requires them to keep track. We would love to give them our attendance roster, but we didn't ask permission, so we don't just hand it out. Does anybody object to us giving the attendance roster? It's not something where they're going to contact you. It's more of like we presented to X number of people at this meeting.
I just need first name and last initial, if anything.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's okay, because we want to make sure we can. I just didn't monitor anybody.
Thank you very much. Yes, we'll be in touch. Excellent. Okay, so now along the same kind of similar lines, except outside the home, we're going to talk about Air Infrastructure and Safety Committee. Who wanted to talk about the traffic light retiming? Because I personally don't know.
We just know it's happening.
Okay.
It's on the list. They're retiming the traffic lights across the city. It's taking a while, but this is one of the things with 29th Street and 28th Street in particular as being very dangerous. People drive like crazy. Hopefully retiming the traffic lights will de-incentivize, where if you're going the speed limit, you hit all those green lights and it feels better than if you're trying to hit like 45, 50 miles an hour and you have to stop at every light. So it's a little bit of an incentive. And I just wanted to...
Done it.
What?
I think they might have done it.
I think they did.
29th, I went to work this morning on 29th, going 25 to 30 miles per hour. And every green, it's never happened to me. I was like, they might have done it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought, you can see where the quadrants that they are done at on the DOT website, I'm pretty sure.
Charles felt that way today.
Really
Finally,
nice feeling.
California's been feeling like that for a few months now, going north.
It's like a 3-year long process, because they have to
Pratt is still absolutely terrible.
But yes, so we're still waiting on our priority list of our intersections. Adams was we did a walkthrough of the neighborhood with DOT, pointing out the intersections that were particularly bad that needed traffic calming immediately, and ones that could take a little bit longer. Adam compiled this nice list. We sent it to the people. We did not get an immediate update, of course, because this stuff takes a lot of time. However, we checked back in and we got a few, one little update basically, which was that there was the retiming of the lights as well as the new speed camera that's coming in next to where the school is, which is, again, another incentive for that. But then also, we will be making at some point in the next year, working on putting in planters at 29th Street and Barclay, where there are already the bump outs basically, because one of the things that we can do as a neighborhood is once those are there, we have the right as the neighborhood people to put stuff there. So we don't have to wait on that. It's part of the placemaking. But of course, one of the other things we can do with that is we can get grant funding to make that happen. So if anybody has any extra time or energy to do some stuff like that, we'll take it. But we'll come out again with another action item list around our project, probably within the next couple of months at least. And then let's see, outstanding questions around inter-neighborhood coordination.
Yeah, that's all tied.
Okay. Oh yeah, and then I met with the ADA compliance officer and community liaison person because at Guilford and Whitridge there is a very misaligned crosswalk that I've noticed a blind guy who used to live in the neighborhood almost trip over many times, and they will be redoing that at like realigning it. They're gonna like rebalance out where how the street is curved, and also we'll be moving more grass. I'll send out the design when they have it for us, but it'll basically be just realigned so it's not as awkward and you don't walk into the street sign, which is what happens on a daily basis.
Okay.
So it will hopefully help also people not to like injure themselves on the culvert. Apparently DOT cannot cover that culvert because that's a DPW issue. So that's something I will reach out about because it is also probably needed. But we'll see based on the new design if that is needed. It seems like the ADA compliance officer was very aware of what they can do and how to make it more helpful for people, especially those who can't see. So we'll see what that design is, how it's implemented, and some other spots that they were also gonna fix that. If there are any, you notice any divots in the sidewalk, you notice any large cracks, like, you know, stuff like that, our ADA compliance guy was basically like, just submit that to 311 because as much as you can. Obviously, that's only so much of a solution. However, gets the information out. It's not like they're not gonna fix it if they don't know about it. So.
Also, on that note, anytime you report anything like 311, like a sidewalk looks like this because of tree roots, if you report it to 311, reach out to Odette and send her the number because she is very good about following up with 311 because she will look at what they did and oftentimes they will close the ticket for reasons that are unrelated to solving the problem, and Odette will go back and be like, that's ridiculous. That you should not have closed this ticket because you didn't address the issue that was being raised. And so, anytime you file 311 for something serious, definitely, like, if you can't get a hold of her, you can also message me, or you send us an email, and we can make sure that she's notified because Odette has been very, very responsive.
And also, you can also CC the benefits district as well, because one of their roles, at least for the areas that they cover, is that they also are supposed to be able to elevate those concerns too. So, does anybody have any questions regarding that stuff?
No, Bartley, when they did the dugging and put in those pipes for the gas thing, there's I don't know what it is when they come down Barkley, you can hear I don't know what that is, or is there a hole somewhere?
It's the metal cap. I'm just gonna go down there and stuff a piece of cardboard in there eventually.
That thing is loud at night.
It is loud, yes.
And I don't know if it's dangerous. Is it dangerous for cars?
It's not dangerous. It's just loud.
Yeah. Okay, but I thought it was me. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's.
I would reach out to Keith from the benefits district to see if his team can go out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good point, and it's one of those things that's sort of been on the back burner for me but yeah.
That's all right. I got you.
I'll also add that specifically if, mainly for the homeowners, if you were told that you are responsible for any tree damaged sidewalk, please let us know as well, and or reach out to Odette.
Yeah. Yes. And then we're gonna go, does anybody else have any questions before we move on?
You said tree damage.
Yeah, let the roots,
Okay.
City says that the homeowners are on the hook for
Who do
certain
we get in
things.
touch for that mess that's out in front of that lady's house down the street with the kids?
On 29th Street?
No, on our street, on
Whitridge?
Which
that is awful. That's a rat hole.
which mess? The patch of grass?
That grass.
Oh, that's
all the way up here.
Oh, that's
and that's saying
that's the landlord. You can report that to the city and the
it's a mess.
The landlord has to deal with that.
Cut that.
Yeah, I'll do a report. But yeah, that's.
One of the other things that I think we've discussed here is also like if you have an issue with your neighbor and stuff like that, you know, like you can always write somebody a note too and see, let's you know, like go for, you know, direct communication before elevating it outside, because the other thing is maybe they're not aware that it's bothering anybody.
How can you get a hold of them if you
This
don't
is
say
not
it?
that situation.
Okay, well, I just mean for just.
I'm talking about next door to me. It's been vacant for almost a year.
Yeah, the landlord is responsible for that, and so you report that to the city, and the city will fine them if they don't take care of it.
Yeah.
Oh, she ain't gonna check it. It's terrible.
I had to do that with my next door neighbor. My next door neighbor is also a messy landlord, and I had poison ivy coming up over my wall for years, and I had to keep cutting it back, and I finally kept reporting it.
And poison ivy, by the way, you can always report to the city. Homeowners are responsible
I didn't know
for
that.
getting
I
their.
had paid somebody to cut a tree that's a poison ivy tree that kept leaning over.
The landlord is responsible for taking.
Yeah, because that's a safety hazard. So it's like, you know, that's it'd be different if it's a tree you don't like, but if it's that. Okay, so then now we're gonna move on to the projects committee. Adam, do you want to talk about the Harwood Park redesign?
Yes, so on the park redesign, we got a draft design from the Neighborhood Design Center, and we're going to bring that to the board at our next board meeting this month. Just to review, they collected a lot of good survey data from everybody from that survey that went out online. They also did some in-person surveying around the park, and a lot of feedback around needing more shade, getting rid of excessive concrete, fixing the sinkhole, obviously. So a lot of the designs that they came up with are around just that. So taking out that concrete, adding more shade. They're trying to come up with designs that can include the original equipment and the possibility of a complete overhaul. We don't know all that until we bring those designs to the Parks Department. Parks Department has to tell us how much they have in the capital budget to actually put towards the park. So we're still pretty early in the process, but we're getting closer to having a design that we can then work with the Parks Department with. So hopefully we'll be able to actually present that at the maybe September, maybe October, but we're definitely presenting a draft to the board at the next board meeting.
Yeah.
Get more feedback on that.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot more traction since the Neighborhood Design Center has been involved, which is like really exciting. So it also helps that one of the people who's been working on it is literally a neighbor, so that helps. Okay, and now we did have a small bullet point about cafe lighting throughout the neighborhood. I believe Jeff is also working on doing the cafe lighting. I feel like he was talking about it, which in partnership with B. Genie, that's something we'll bring up when we have more information. But now we'll pass on to Emil, since Emil has been so.
Question about the cafe lighting.
Yes.
This might sound very silly, but is there any thought towards doing cafe lighting that is like bird and bat safe? I'm not going to like.
So what was the
Bird
question?
and bat safe.
Is there any
safe
are there any cafe lighting options that are bird and bat safe?
I don't think we had the conversation.
Yeah, this was a project that before any of the current board, it was a project that was started with our previous people, and they had traction with it. They've gotten grant funding and everything, and then we've had kind of starts and bursts about the cafe lighting.
There is the like lights out Baltimore program to try to like prevent like pollution because of its to like.
I think that might be in opposition to this project, because part of it is about beautification and safety, I think. So I'm not, maybe, yeah, so.
Well, it predates everybody, as she said, everybody on the board. We can, when we have more information, we can raise it.
I'm just curious if there are options.
I haven't even thought of that.
And of course, like, you know, safety and beautification are a priority.
Yeah. I know one of the things that was a boundary on it, or I'm not explaining myself well. Anyways, it was putting a pause on the project, was that we also needed to have people give the okay that we could power the lights with their homes. So I'm not sure if that's also something that we were thinking about.
I think they have solar versions.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I feel like I don't, because you have, I
Yeah,
thought you were talking.
yeah.
Oh, the two of you were.
The first year. Yeah, so they were more the alley lighting first.
And I was like, sure, but then I looked online and they have solar projects.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
There were two major hiccups to the project. One of them was power. Power wasn't so much an issue. There were a few people on the block that had already volunteered, being the same people who had already volunteered for the first iteration of the project. The main thing that we haven't done much outreach around, and we're going to need to do before we go forward, is to understand, to get a vote really and a feeling of whether or not neighbors are okay with the cafe lights in the front of homes. We've gotten an okay from the neighborhood for it to be in the back. Everybody basically was really okay with it for the alleys, because that was the first iteration of the project.
And so those white, beautiful bulbs that's down the street.
Yeah.
I love those. And I put in some kind of, they told us to put it in something. So but it got to be plugged in somebody's house.
Yeah. Well, it has to be plugged in somewhere, but it's usually a few people volunteer.
So who pays for it?
The people who choose. That's why it's volunteer based. The people who volunteer for it basically donate whatever amount of energy that it takes to power them. Thankfully, they're not very energy intensive. They only add a few dollars to.
Those are beautiful. I've seen the streets.
Yeah, this is.
That's something some other people on the board, like Christian and Ainsley, have both worked a little bit on it. But again, like we've had other projects that have come up, so it's kind of been gotten pushed to the back.
And they're a more resource intensive thing. We do need a grant to get it paid. To do every street would be a few $1,000s.
But the other thing is that somebody, at least, was also talking with partnering with BG&E for this. Granted, that is not anywhere near what's going to happen right now.
Right.
So that's a maybe possibility for like long term.
Oh, they're so pretty.
We're also considering asking for trying to leverage CSX and all that construction that's going on in Guilford to give us some money to kind of, make us feel a little better about all the noise and pollution. But yes, the biggest thing, and I did see a few people kind of nod to this, is we don't really have an answer as to whether or not the neighborhood wants to see them in the front of the houses yet. Some people are concerned about how bright they might be.
They're not that bright.
Well, but still, it's a concern, and so we can't just go ahead and just do it. People have to agree. We have to at least have some kind of consensus. Sure, we're not necessarily going to get everybody on board, and we wouldn't not do it because a few people out of the whole are against it.
Right.
But we don't also want to impose something on people. And so the first thing about that has to be, we already have an okay for the back, and so if we are able to secure funding for the back, that will just happen. But before we do,
on our street, I don't mean to cut you off, has their porch lights on. So what's the difference in the porch light and that light?
You can turn off the porch light whenever you want.
right.
Right.
And also really it's so this is not so much like something for us to have like a debate of whether or not there's merit to it. It's the all in all of it, and frankly the decent thing to do is to consult our neighbors and to see where everybody
that's
lands.
what I had to do with my handicap sign. I had to get 5 people to agree that I can have it done, and I understand that.
There are plenty of people who already have the cafe light. A lot of those people didn't ask their neighbors to put them out because technically it's their space to do that if they want.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. Putting out your own cafe lights is properly illegal, and it is against code. Now, will the city be very mad at you? As we see, some people have them. Lorraine has it. Lorraine actually does have permission to do it, so they're a very good example. There's a house right outside Harwood, on the corner of I believe Guilford and 28th Street, kind of like
that's what I was saying.
Oblique to you.
That is nice.
Like across from Mozi on the Guilford side. And those people just put it up, and they've been there for years, and the city has never cared, really.
Okay. 'cause
So
there's
whether or
one
not
on Barclay.
we can do guerrilla type things, and you want to take it upon yourself,
Right.
as a community association, we cannot tell you yes or no. We will inform you though that that is technically against city code. But it seems like some people have done it, and I would encourage you to talk to them and knock on their doors to ask them what their experience are. We cannot tell you to do that
Isn't that one
per
on
se.
Barclay and 20?
There's a bunch of little spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do it.
Before
We are almost out of time.
Yeah, let's we're gonna move on to
Sergeant
Amon,
Olivo is
our
very,
officer.
very patient.
Been
Yes,
pressing.
yes.
I wanted to cede to Sergeant
Oh,
Olivo
yes.
jump later.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sergeant Olivo. I'm your community liaison for the Northern District. Oh, I almost mentioned my own district. I'm sorry. For the past year and a half, almost 2 years. In reference to the crime in your community, there's no homicide. There's no homicide last year.
Thank you.
For the same month, no shooting, no
Thank
rape.
you.
The only crime you have so far this year, which compared to last year, was also one robbery. There was a robbery last year. This robbery took place on the 300 block East 26th Street. The individual was walking on the street. The victim, around 5 something in the morning, 4 persons came out of a vehicle, demanded money, and then the person realized he didn't have no money. All he had was a cell phone. The suspect pointed a gun. They took his cell phone. That was it.
Wow.
Nobody was hurt. No aggravated assault compared to last year. There was one. I know everybody's concerned about an aggravated assault that occurred on the 400 block East 32nd Street in reference to the mains. That person, they got arrested. So there shouldn't be no concern for that right now. No burglary. Last year you had 1. There were 3 larceny. Those 3 larceny, one was domestic related. The girlfriend took some bank document. That was it. No assault occurred or anything like that. There was a shoplifter, and another one was stolen package. There was 1 stolen auto compared to last year. There was 3, but there was also an attempt stolen auto. So basically, crime-wise, everything is down within your community.
The Grand Theft Auto there? Is that on 27th?
I'm sorry?
Was that Grand Theft Auto there? Is that on 27th?
I'll let you know right now.
You know?
No, on Lorraine.
We also apparently, we have a neighbor who did get carjacked in June on 27th Street. I'm not sure if they reported it.
No,
They got their,
so-
they got their car back, and the police got their car back.
Okay, so this whole stat is from July 6th to August 2nd.
Oh, okay.
So it's only 28 days. And so anything that happened in June that was passed.
Did you guys hear anything about last night at all?
Are you talking about Peabody Heights? That's what he's talking about with the police.
It was the 2nd.
No. Pretty sure something weird happened last night on 27th as well.
You have a time?
Somewhere 27th. No, my block, actually, 300.
Oh,
There was a lot of banging. There's a house being renovated there. It's either they were trying to get into shimming the plywood off the door, or some kind of fan they were trying to get into. And then a few lights came on. A couple of dogs barked, and 2 people ran away. That was maybe last night at 11 p.m. I don't think anybody reported anything because nothing eventually happened.
I don't see anything from last night.
Okay. Then they were scared off. Dogs did their job.
There was a report on, I think, July 4th, so would it be in there? But I think so.
No, this is July 6th.
Yes, I think July 4th, something was shot up on Greenmount, and there's a little shrine on Greenmount right now.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, because we got an email from somebody to Ramos,
Okay.
asking for,
Oh.
parole, like they weren't.
So there, personally, I just returned back. I would say I'm lost in many ways because I haven't catch up with other information. and plus getting prepared for National Night Out, still got to distribute some stuff to the community today. But there has been increase. I personally worked last week, and we were assigned basically to that Green Mountain area because of concern, any retaliation or anything like that. But so far so good. So I have been walking foot in that area, even on 25th Street, 32nd, all the way to 5400 block of York Road, 5300 block of York Road, and then to the Pike Heights area. So, and right now it's only two of us. One of my officers, she's on vacation, and I just got a new officer. So when she comes back in 2 weeks, we're gonna have hopefully a full squad.
Is it walking patrols? Is it walking patrols?
Yeah. Well, and checking places and all that kind of stuff.
Just to reiterate a point that, I'm sorry, that was made when the commander was here, Northern District only has less than 24 officers, right? How many officers do you have?
Oh, Northern District doesn't have 2,000 officers.
No, two dozen. Like,
So, give or take
23, I don't remember the number, but you're covering a very, very large span
Yes.
of the northern part of the city.
For
So,
example, shouldn't be saying this. Just an example, remember, folks.
Better for us to know.
no, it's
So,
yeah, it's like 20 something.
with overtime and all of that, you could have, like, for example, you could have up to 18 officers working on one shift. And at the same time, you could have just 8 or 12. But it depends, like midnight doesn't have staffing, but the evening shift, the staffing is a little high.
And the northern district is
We got a huge, it's a big
so.
district. Our border is part of 25th Street, and all depends up on how we go further down to the county line, up to that street, like 2 block west or 3 block west of Green Mountain. It all depends. It just keep growing up all the way to Ricestown, part of Ricestown, Drew Hill Park. Then we go up to Beverly and Pike Heights. So imagine, the core valley will be pretty large.
Where is the northern district's
Our district
office?
is located west, 2201 West Coast Spring Lane.
Like where the Cold Spring Light Rail Station is.
Okay.
You cross the freeway west. It's
What
like-
district is the station next to Morgan?
Next to Morgan, that's the northeast.
That's northeast.
And I would say, folks, we have the commanders meeting every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. every month. One of my suggestions is somebody from the community, or a couple of people, I don't know, should attend. Any concern, any question, you could bring it up to the commander there. Hey, this is what we have, and if this is the concern you have. If we need extra patrolling in the area, all that kind of concern, you could bring it up. That's what is the commander meeting for.
Where is the commander meeting at?
2201 West Coast Spring, every second Wednesday of the month.
Gotta write this down, cause I
At
can't.
7 p.m.
West Cold Spring Lane?
Yes. And so, referring to National Night Out, so it's tomorrow. Different communities start at different time. So, like one is closer to his, Charles in 29th Street. Then the other one is 29 in Green Mountain. And the other one is Barkley in East University.
Is these all at one time or different?
They're all going to be kind of like intertwined at the same time. Some of them start at 3, some of them start at 4. Waverly
So the one
has
on 29th is starting, and Charles is
From
starting
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
that is correct. And then there's another one for Waverly up on York Road and Venable.
And Venable?
Venable.
I don't have no car, so I have to go to the closest one.
Yeah, the one on 29th Street is pretty big. And Charles Street also is big too, so. And if you want a bigger one, you can go to the west side and another one on Ace Academy, which is 1300 West 36th Street.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Sergeant Olivo. I've got a lot of respect for you personally and appreciate your service to this community, going on the walls with you. But I just want to raise, people are concerned about the shooting of the Arab, Mr. Abdullah, the grandmother, Ms. Brooks. I know that there's probably nothing you can say. It's all an official investigation, but I just wanted to ask, did you have any reaction or thoughts about this? That's appropriate for you to share, because people are concerned about it.
So I don't have anything to share on that. Okay, to be honest with you, like I said, I just came back last week, so I'm not fully aware or informed of everything that's going on in every community right now, over the emails. So right now I'm playing catch up with everything. So I mean, if there's any time that's given me any kind of permission to provide any information, I'd be happy to reach out and let you know.
Okay.
Or you could just email me and
I don't expect you to be in any way personally responsible or accountable for this. It's a larger BPD issue, and I just wanted to raise that as a concern.
So remember, now we all now responsible for what other people do us or anything. So everybody's individual on every action that a person takes.
Foot patrols are good news though.
Yeah, it is great.
We've been asking for that for a long time.
Yes, I mean, you get to meet people and have a relationship. Yes, sir.
I need you to patrol more on 26th Street. It's a parking in my block. It's a nuisance, like a nuisance.
I was there talking to the gentleman. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, listen.
That is that open area you're talking about next to that vacant property right there?
Yeah, little apartment.
You're talking about on 26th and Barclay?
Yeah, no, is it 26 in Barclay or 26 in
It has a little cupboard on it.
Yeah, come on right there. Yeah, it's nuisance. They start at night and then disappear in the morning. I go to work I think I go to work like 7. They use your name. All across the street.
Oh, that part.
You know they're going.
So, let me let you know this. Remember, our peace cannot be disturbed, but your could. So you gotta our peace cannot be disturbed. So if you don't call and you don't complain about it, you gotta call 911 or 311 and complain about it.
I have complained.
Oh, so keep calling until you get the result you want.
I can talk to the officer, drive around and tell them.
So you keep calling. If you don't see the officer get out of the vehicle and engage the person, just call back again. Okay. So, but remember, we also need a complainant, which you cannot remain anonymous if you want that officer to take any type of action.
Okay.
Also, ping Odette Ramos, our councilwoman. Like if you put in a 311, let her know. Talk to me afterwards. I'll give you contact info. Because she's always very good about did they follow up? How did they follow up? What was the resolution? If not, she works it.
Okay.
Yeah, and also if you see a car come by, you can always get the truck.
I got license plates on my phone.
I'm sorry?
I got some license plates for people coming there late at night, sit there right across the street for hours and hours at a time. You see them do their activity, come out and get back in the car, and be there for a little while longer, and then leave.
So
you mean civilians be doing that?
Huh?
You mean civilians doing that?
Yeah, it's like different people.
There has been let me let you know. So there has been arrests from that area. Okay. Especially in front of the liquor store.
Okay.
So there has been arrests. I mean, if you have information you want to, remain one-to-one instead of putting it out in public or here you.
I got video.
Okay. So what I could do is I could give you my email address and send me all your information.
Sure will.
And I will have a district action team contact you. Okay? So how's that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. And like I said, our job, we cannot do without the community help.
That's good.
The community has helped us a lot in many situations, and this is your community. It is my community also, I take it personally, because I want the same type of service provided to me. If I need the police, I want the police to do the same thing for me. Okay, so please be vigilant. If you have any information, you could always remain anonymous. You could send it out to me, or call the district, and you could ask for the supervisor for the district action team. Okay, so his name is Sergeant Wallace.
Sergeant Wells? Okay.
Yes, his team is pretty good. I would say his team is pretty good. Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions right now?
I know we're like well past time. If you gotta go, we understand. But
Yeah. Thank you.
thank you, Sergeant Mandeville.
Thank you.
Glad to
Thank
have
you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming.
And then we're gonna have one more speaker, and then everybody can head on out.
Hey, thanks for staying to the end, everyone. My name's Abel Balchak, I live 3000 Block Guilford, and a couple things that I wanted to plug. First, Let's Be More, the Baltimore Time Bank. People who share, they give and receive services for time credit instead of money. Isaac, I think I heard you say something about stickers, and did you need like graphic design help?
We really just need somebody to do it. It's not, we don't need a graphic designer. I just can't.
But we need graphic design.
We need somebody from the community.
Somebody who's reasonably savvy, so like I know somebody in the time bank, so I sent you an email, so we can post a request for graphic design help on here. But like, do you know someone who's in high school and needs biology and chemistry tutoring, or even in college classes? We've got an offer for biology and chemistry from a PhD chemist who's offering to help. I'm offering cybersecurity coaching. There's Kiana's got a posting on there about doing a little house cleaning help, and some other requests there as well. So flyers are on the table in the front, and our next meeting, we meet hybrid every month, Thursday, August 14th, and we're down at the Impact Hub on North Avenue and also online. Second thing, I usually give an update on the fight against the Johns Hopkins private police department. And so if you're keeping score, we haven't advanced much past the last meeting. We are still at 2 city council members who have agreed who support a hearing, and that's Odette Ramos and Jermaine Jones. We think we're close to getting Councilman Anthony Glover to agree. And Councilmember Mark Conway has agreed to a meeting, but no commitment on a hearing yet. 4 community associations have sent letters to City Council President Zeke Cohen saying we need a hearing, and that includes Able, Harwood, Waverly Improvement, and Charles Village Civic Association, and the Care Community Association in East Baltimore has contacted the Council President to say, hey, we have questions. One big thing that's been happening the last couple months is a new group, the Baltimore Abolition Movement, has really taken off. They've got about 50 members. They are a much younger than me group, and they have launched a petition to demand an end to the Johns Hopkins Private Police Department. I have got copies here with the QR code that you can sign online. I have a Chromebook in guest mode. Over there to your left, my right, where I'd love for you to sign up. And briefly, this says, in 2019, Johns Hopkins University introduced the Community Safety and Strengthening Act, proposing the formation of its own private armed police department with full arrest powers. It entered into an MOU with BPD before we had local control, and the Johns Hopkins Police Department is modeled after violent police forces like the University of Chicago PD, and it has no accountability to the people of Baltimore. The state-mandated Johns Hopkins Police Accountability Board, which is our supposed recourse against misconduct, has itself admitted that it has no actual power to hold the officers accountable. And with such weak oversight and muddy jurisdictional boundaries, Hopkins Police poses a dangerous threat to the constitutional rights of the people of Baltimore. So anyone who would like a copy of this, I can give you if you'd like to see the QR code. And then I've got a sign-up sheet if you want to give a physical signature, and a Chromebook that's open to the page if you want to see that. Okay, thank you. And I also have a couple of copies of the full petition, which is a bit longer, but that's the gist of it. It does contain some language really criticizing the BPD over the murders of Mr. Abdullah and Ms. Brooks, refers to violent murders. It's not part of the demands with regard to the Hopkins police, but it's part of their character because the Baltimore abolition movement is about ending all policing. And while I don't personally endorse all of their aims, I very much support their initiative in this petition. And so I'm an ally, and neighbors can be an ally for this, whether you agree with everything they call for or not. Yeah.
Two questions. One, correct me if I'm wrong, right now you just said 4, and that's 4 out of 6 of the surrounding community associations that voted no against the JHPD, correct?
So the Greater Remington Improvement Association is still opposed to Hopkins Police. Their board is in sympathy. They haven't asked for hearing because when I asked them about this recently, they said, we are so focused on fighting the Hopkins Data Science and Artificial Intelligence building that's sort of occupying all our space. And the Old Goucher Community Association also was one of the community associations that opposed. And I had trouble getting. What?
I thought they don't really exist right now.
So I have talked to Kelly Cross, and he tells me they're getting back together and they've been doing their community garden, but I don't actually know if they're officially back or not.
Okay.
But Old Goucher is one of the organizations that did sign on opposing Hopkins Police back in 2022. They signed the same letter that Harwood and Able did.
If people don't know, Harwood we've had now 2 different votes. One that was a few years ago when that just started, and one that we did, I think somewhere around 6 months ago. We just wanted to make sure that the neighborhood's still aligned, and Harwood, and actually it was a very well attended meeting, and the neighborhood Harwood did vote again to oppose JHPD.
And I think it was at the same, it might have been at the same time, maybe it was a different time, that Harwood agreed to join Able in seeking assistance from the Community Law Center.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard, the Community Law Center, which is like on Keswick, over towards Hamden, they are a civil rights legal assistance organization that works exclusively for neighborhoods and other nonprofits, as opposed to individuals. Like the ACLU and Legal Aid tend to be more for individually oriented. But so the Amy Petkosek is the executive director, lead attorney, and so she is working to help advocate our case. And most recently, the Community Law Center and Isaac, they met with Justin Hunt, who is the chief of staff for Councilman Anthony Glover, District 13 Medical Campus of Hopkins, to make the case against the Hopkins Police. And I've texted and I've spoken to Justin, and he's like trying to get an answer from his boss, and doesn't seem to have gotten an answer from his boss as to whether he supports a hearing or not. So.
And the second question is, if you know, of course, just to clarify, the JHPD cars that I believe personally that I've seen,
yes,
they are the gray cars with blue lettering JHPD.
They say police.
They say police.
There were the normal ones.
The white ones are security.
And then they're
public safety.
They're
Right.
different ones now.
And then the JHPD ones are the gray, like normal Ford Explorer.
They're cop cars.
They're cop cars. They're just gray, and they have blue lettering.
Yeah.
And they say big police on them. They're not security, they're police.
They do say police.
The yellowish
Yeah.
ones, which are like actually PD.
They also show what they look like on the Hopkins website. You can go to Hopkins.
Okay.
Oh,
Good. The black ones are just BPD with the yellowish. Yeah.
This is a Hopkins police car on
Yes.
BW Parkway. It's near the exit Baltimore Naples Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, I see that. I see
Yeah.
that.
So there are these little ones that.
That's-
So this is the Hopkins, it says, and police, can you see that?
Yes.
On the side, so it says Hopkins police. And this is vehicle JH21.
Sir, do you mind showing the camera for just a second, just so they can see
Oh.
it?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the audience in the online can see it too. Should be good.
For the audience
Yeah.
on the camera, these are the JHPD
Oh, you're good. The label
cars.
Okay.
It's recorded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a campus police I'm confused. Y'all got us so confused.
Well, it is confusing, ma'am, because the Hopkins police, they're given authority to patrol public streets off campus. And so like, that's why you see this car down on the BW Parkway. I don't know what they're doing outside the city. But one of the big concerns that the neighborhoods has is if you read the memorandum of understanding closely, they can technically operate anywhere in the city of Baltimore with the permission of the mayor. And they are accountable to President Ron Daniels, who we do not get to vote for. And they have their own accountability board, which is completely ineffective. Now, in fairness, they are now reporting to the Baltimore City Police Accountability Board. I can give you like one more.
I mean, it's almost 8:30.
And we also have to keep in mind.
I gotta go pick up my kid and.
Yeah, I think we also, there's,
Why don't I wrap up? I was going to tell you about the May 8th Palestine protest, but what I'll do is I'll stand over there while we break things up, and if anybody wants to sign the petition on my Chromebook or hear about the May 8th events, I'd be happy to tell you about that, but let me officially conclude speaking here. Thank you so much for your attention and for your support.
yeah, thank you everybody for coming, and our next meeting will be September 8th.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Oh, for anyone who is curious about the Cafe Lights thing, Jeff from Koki said he's going to come next week with like more information about that. So just FYI that. Yeah, that was
he'll come to our class.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's true.
It's not that clear.
I'll wait until later.
She couldn't be here.
You're